After a long wait, the Life is Strange Remastered collection is finally here, and it's not that good. The original Life is Strange came out in 2014, which featured captivating yet cheesy performances, great characters, an interesting plot, and an overall phenomenal mystery story. A story of which I still reference to this day because of how good it is. It's truly a masterpiece. The game based you on your choices, and whichever choice you made affected the future of your character's life. But don't worry, you have the option to see how both choices play out since your character Max can time travel. It's up to you to decide what the right choice is. Now, the game had some issues when it came to voices and audio not syncing with each other, some plot holes that were mainly featured in the prequel Before the Storm that came out in 2017, and not enough endings to satisfy all the choices that you can decide from. A strong theory that I have is one with Square Enix, the publisher of this game. If it's not a theory, please don't come for me, Square Enix. Life is Strange came out in 2014. Does it really need a remaster? No. Life is Strange Before the Storm came out in 2017. Does it really need a remaster? No. But it definitely needs a story change and an extra episode. That being said, the original Life is Strange is a $20 game, the first episode being free, how cool is that, and the rest being $4.99 each. When Life is Strange True Colors was announced, it had a starting price of $59.99, a game that in my opinion was worth $30 at most. The game had 3 editions, and the last one had the LIS Remaster bundle tied to it. This bundle was $79.99, which had a DLC, extra outfits, and the bundle. So basically you're paying about $10 for the remasters, which is fine. However, if you didn't buy this bundle, guess how much you have to pay? $40. That's honestly insane for a remaster. They are counting it as a new game to get more sales, of course. And I know some publishers like to do this, but it's not like this game was The Last of Us. I'm sure this game is gonna get sidelined pretty quickly, with big titles overshadowing it in less than a week. Can we also mention that 2 Uncharted games came out with only a $10 upgrade? Square Enix, take notes. So first off, let's go all the way to the beginning. The game was announced in 2021 with a small clip showing a whole bunch of familiar faces. The game was supposed to originally come out alongside True Colors, but was delayed until early 2022. The first official trailer that we got for the remaster looked horrible. Yeah, I said it, horrible. It didn't look like anything changed at all, and if anything, I think it looked worse than the original. I stated that something extremely memorable to the game was its beautiful art style, looking like a painting instead of graphically enhanced graphics. The trailer felt like that style was wiped away, and enhancements were thrown on top of all the textures that were done. It really gave beta vibes. The Life is Strange website then released pictures attached to the pre-order of the game, and I think these pictures contradicted what was shown to everyone, and everything looked 10 times better. I started to gain some hope that this game would look really improved. Then the first look came out, and after a 5-month delay, I didn't see much of an improvement. Like, at all. It looked the same. I wonder what made them decide to give these characters such big and shiny eyes. I feel like they're super distracting and very out of place with all the characters. At this point in time, my hopes were already down and I was ready to trash it until I saw this clip.
Some sort of weird team, the Super Hebrews. Jesus. David was stalking Kate, hassling me, and now we know he was all over Rachel too. Oh, we are so going into his garage files. Plus I'm getting a little paranoid in here. We got our info, let's bail. But maybe we shouldn't leave without a gift.
The animations feel much stronger and noticeably different than previous clips. It gave me hope on what's to come. Since the original wasn't too graphically enhanced, the lip movement on the characters wasn't that bad. Now that it's more prevalent and it's something that draws my attention more, the animation looks too stiff combined with the new graphics. I also noticed that Chloe looks like a completely different character. She looks more brightful instead of that angry and angsty teen we always see. The Life is Strange team also decided to release some clips from Before the Storm with the enhancements. There's definitely an improvement on characters' skin colors looking more realistic, eye movement, and mouth movement. But you also have to take into consideration that this game is newer. Deck 9 also made Before the Storm, which means they definitely gave this one more of their all since it's their baby. Did I mention that Deck 9 is working on this project? The issue that I'm having with all these trailers is the comparison photos and false advertising. Look at this picture of what we were so-called getting. Now look at the remastered comparison. It's not the same whatsoever. And the worst part is that they don't even try to hide it. Because I'm such a big Life is Strange fan, I would have honestly liked to see newer content than a remaster, given that this felt like an extreme cash grab. The team had extra time and they didn't really do anything with it. I also think that this game was announced prematurely and should have had more time to make it look smoother. But y'all, don't take what I said in this first half seriously because I haven't played the game, therefore I cannot judge it.
24 hours later.
Okay, this is where the review finally starts. And I'm not clickbaiting y'all, I actually played these games. Before I get into this though, I'm gonna point out that I could probably make a 10-hour video pointing out every single detail I liked or had a massive issue with, but unfortunately I can't. I'll be piling up the main repetitive aspects I kept constantly seeing throughout the game. To keep it concise, I'll be basing this review off the first episodes of each game, as well as all the extra content they gave us online. This is not a review of the actual game, and more of a review on the graphics. If you guys would like me to do a deeper dive into the story, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I will be nitpicking immensely, so let's begin. Immediately after playing these games, I can officially say that the team prioritized meaningless details, which efforts should have gone to bigger changes, that still felt iffy even with all the given extra time to work on. The game felt polished in some areas and felt very unpolished in others. Deck 9 used this technology which allowed them to record new faceovers and throw them onto the characters. They also redesigned the characters in order to allow them to do more all around. They brought back the voice actress that did Chloe in Before the Storm to do the faceovers for both Chloes. This means that the new Chloe is a mixture of Ashley Birch's iteration combined with Rihanna DeVry's one. Off the bat, these characters feel like they were completely dipped in a Sims game and soaked up a whole bunch of its attributes.
Yo, I mean, for $40, you have to look at everything. I mean, this is what I'm paying for. I'm trying to see what's different. I have to nitpick every little thing. Like, what am I paying
This
for?
is what it's like to be alone.
Yeah, I'm paying for
and
shadow.
lonely.
All right.
Damned. Her hair kind of
Yep.
looks like overpriced Roblox hair.
The detail on Mr. Jefferson's pants are very good compared to the original, but Jefferson's model looks off-putting. Look at his extremely creepy-ass smile with those teeth. I mean, could you make it any less obvious this time around? All of the dialogue in the game is the same, unless you guys heard something new, and if you did, be sure to leave that in the comments down below. One thing I could say that this game nails is the environment. It looks stunning. There's been tweaks to the lighting and more grass and details on the floor and surroundings. The lighting is good in most areas, but not all. We'll talk about those soon. Like, girl, what is this? Why is Max a full-on ghost? Why is the light reflecting on her like this? It looks better in the original. These games were probably hard to remaster because of their art style, mixing realism where it never intended to be in the first place. Max's power still takes the same amount of time as it does in the first game. Most of the characters' faces stayed the same or were worse in some areas. Here, Nathan looks like a terrible matte painting with bad lighting hitting his face. Chloe's hair feels way too vibrant, making it look more unrealistic than the original. In this scene, I think Chloe looks spot on. The detail in her eye is super polished and crisp. The glare doesn't seem too out of place, and her eyes are not glossy as hell. This personally might be my favorite clip of both these characters. David pretty much looks the same, just having a few extra bones in his face. I really love the detail in his security outfit. It looks very realistic. Same goes for Principal Wells. Most of the characters' outfits got major touch-ups. Victoria looks different, but not so much in a bad way. Compared to other models, I can say her eyes look much more realistic. Kate Marsh looks okay for the most part, but I don't have a clue what's going on here. It's like half of the team did a great job and the other half didn't know what they were doing doing at all. The lighting during Chloe's room scene is really well lit. It looks really realistic and the shadows are really nice. The lighting here also showcases a massive improvement as well. The consistency is still lacking with Chloe's face. She's pale white in this game and suddenly becomes a slightly darker tone in Before the Storm. I'm sure it would throw off a few people, but a little consistency would have been nicer. We also get to see more detail on Chloe's face, like small little moles and textures, as well as making some of Max's freckles more noticeable. Here it looks like Chloe is literally floating on her bed. This game is still very unpolished and featured a ton of glitches. In this scene here, the quality went from 4K to 144p, and the subtitles suddenly disappeared. But when she was seeing what the future held, the quality was perfectly fine. It's things like this that really ruined the immersion for me. When Chloe meets up with Frank, she becomes a full-on wolf with those eyes. Sometimes the light shines on these characters and makes them look like completely different people, which should not happen if I'm not mistaken. You can also notice very minor bugs that take place, which were never there in the original. But the team also fixed bugs that were there, like when Max wakes up and it's laggy. The new version is smooth. This team needs to make up their minds. They add glitches only to take the old ones out. I didn't ask for another Cyberpunk 2077. This game still also has load screens, so if you're a PS5 player, get ready to wait here and there. Another preview that was shown was the David argument. Max looks like a full-on bobblehead in this scene, with some of the movement all around looking extremely forceful. In some instances, Joyce's reaction won't fit what she's saying and looks better in the original. However, in a split second, her expression is completely contradicting what she's feeling. To make it worse, she's portraying the right emotion in the original game. That's really all I have to say for this game. Let's move on to the next. Chloeprice has the best looking remodel. I would be willing to stand by her character and say, yeah, she's been remastered. But if I'm being honest, the team only really worked on perfecting her and leaving all the other characters in the dust. I really like that you can see the big differences between this model and the original. She looked like a drawing before, and now she looks like a person. I don't know if I could say that about Rachel though. Rachel kind of looks like the same person for the most part. Blemishes are added and the skin texture looks better, but it's nothing to make me go, yeah, this was insanely remastered. And when I look back at the old videos, I guess I forget to realize that it actually did look really artsy, but now she just looks cartoonish, not realistic. The eyes, it's the eyes. They're so off-putting to me, and this is what they originally showed us. Where's this? Cause I'm still waiting. Drew North looks exactly the same, which goes for his brother too. They both have such minor differences it's hard to tell. Steph looks really bad. Her face looks like she went inside a Demogorgon's body and now she has slime all over her face. Elliot is actually the ugliest character model change ever. He looks so bad. Mans looks like a bootleg porcelain doll that had to undergo 3 surgeries to fix his face. Skip looks questionable. He looks like a true stoner dude. Not to mention when the game glitches and he looks like this. $40, y'all. Remember that. Joyce looks more like Chloe's mom. I can fully see a better resemblance. Like, I really see it now. For some reason, I really like the new rework on Mr. Amber's face. I think he looks super realistic in my opinion. The game also has parts with 0 changes, like Chloe's dream sequence. She looks almost the same from the original and Rachel does too. They skipped this part, I see. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I do not remember this scene in the original game.
They totally stole my 3rd grade art project. Wow, you made that? Can't you tell? It does have a certain give 0 fucks quality that I recognize.
Please tell me if I'm crazy. These characters sometimes don't know how to change when they're in the dark. For example, in the original, Chloe's body is clearly reacting to it being nighttime. Yet in the remastered, she's still bright. It happens again here too, with Rachel still being too bright and looking way more natural in the original. My controller actually vibrated in this game, which is a feature that the first game did not come with. And if there's an option to have vibrations, I am so sorry, please do not crucify me, thanks. Once again, the environment outshines a lot of other aspects in this game. The lighting is beautiful in some shots and work really well with the characters and shadows. I was highly impressed. The lighting here shines really good on Rachel's face, which shows some of the good work the team did on making the game more realistic and the shadows actually changing on Rachel's face. I don't know if it's just me, but the game has this sort of blur filter over it in some areas that makes the shots look really wonky. If you guys see that in your playthroughs, please write it down below. This was another random glitch I caught, this bright white light zapping on my screen, which happened a few times in different areas while playing. Overall, this game definitely shines in all aspects compared to the first game, and was able to better mix the original style with the new one, but still, of course, could have used some more work. One of my viewers stated, "Y'all gotta be down bad. Absolute horrendous. Down atrocious if you think these characters look good. The eye movement. I'm sorry, but that's my biggest gripe. The character models look much worse, but the eye movement isn't natural. Chloe, when she's in the car, didn't give off anything other than soulless." So, is anything new added to these stories that make me go, "Wow, I need to drop $40 ASAP"? No, not at all. The games don't really differ from the original whatsoever. I'd probably only say to pick up Before the Storm since I feel like they worked a little better on that game compared to the original. But if you're gonna buy it, just know that you're not getting a fully polished game. I would think that the remasters would have drawn me into the story more since the characters could convey more emotions, but it only pulled me further away. Who knows? Maybe we will get some updates, and honestly, if they could actually make it look better, I wouldn't mind that. I'd say wait till the team decides to invest more money into it and give it some updates, or wait till it goes on sale, if it ever does.